Kia ora, this is Barnaby from the Black Seeds. Tune into Radio Rosebuds. You should. Hello, kia ora. My name's Barnaby Weir. I'm in the band The Black Seeds from Aotearoa, New Zealand.
Fantastic. Welcome to San Francisco.
Thanks.
So the first question I have for you, I'm going to ask you to describe the genre of Aotearoa roots music. What does that mean to you, Aotearoa roots music?
Yeah, I guess what that means to me is that there's a, down in the South Pacific we have our own version of, roots reggae and a Pacific flavour to it. So it's different to, obviously, Jamaican roots. Like down there, we don't speak in a Jamaican accent. I don't sing in a Jamaican accent. We have different stories, but yeah, it's the Polynesians and the Maoris and the Westerners all living down there together, and lots of other kinds of people living together. So I would say Aotearoa roots would mean to me, the kind of music that the Black Seeds play, Fat Freddy's drop, but even the rock and roll, the roots of rock and roll, and as well.
Okay, fantastic. So you said that you would describe, the Black Seeds, Fat Freddy's drop, etc., as Aotearoa roots. How else would you describe the Black Seeds? Like, what other genres would you sort of spread it across?
Yeah, well, without pigeonholing ourselves too much in any one genre, we're retro heads. Like we like old school soul and funk and ska. We love all kinds of different music, African music, British music, British rock and roll, the classics, and American rock and roll as well. But and jazz music, of course, is highly influential on a lot of the players in our band. So we're eclectic, I guess is the best word. We're eclectic. The base of the music is there's a strong reggae and ska influenced bass in the music. But like I said, we are we're ourselves, so we're not trying to fake anything. We just tell our stories and sing in our own voice, which is obviously strong Kiwi accents and Kiwi stories. So yeah, that's what we're about.
Okay, well, we love to hear them. So other than not singing in a Jamaican accent, right? What really does set New Zealand reggae apart from reggae from other parts of the world? Like, you hear reggae from Germany and Canada and America and all over the place, in Jamaica. Is there a certain quality that sets the New Zealand reggae apart?
I think there is. I mean, I think it's all up to your ears and what your ears tell you. I mean, I can't tell you what the difference is, but my opinion would be that seeing some of the bands that are in America that we've been playing with, and comes from the Bob Marley sound in a way, and that's kind of traditional roots and culture styles, and we don't really aim to copy that sound at all.
Right.
Like I said, we mix anything goes with our band, so there are jazz influences and funk influences on top of the reggae bass that I was saying. So I don't know exactly how you'd explain what the difference is, but I think your ears and your mind will tell you when you hear it that it's not what you're used to hearing.
Definitely. So with Fat Freddy's drop in Cora here last month with Sierra Nevada World Music Festival, do you think North America is ready for the Kiwi takeover?
Yes, I think we're coming, whether you're ready or not, and but we've been getting some good feedback, and it's about time that these bands, living in New Zealand, you have to travel because it's so far away, it's very isolated, so you have to travel if you want to get out there, and we're only doing our second major US tour, so we've got a lot of work to do, but we're here and we're ready for it, and we've been getting good feedback, and I know that Fat Freddy's and Catch a Fire and Cora are also getting great feedback, as they should, because they've got their own unique sounds, each one of those bands. I mean, as much as I like to say, we are friends with all those guys, and that's probably the most thing that we have in common, is that we actually have a lot in common with our friendships, but each band has different sounds, so we never pretend that we don't sound like Fat Freddy's Drop, they don't sound like us, and they don't sound like Cora, they've got their own sound, and Catch a Fire certainly do, so we're from the same country, and we play a lot of the same shows, but I think there's each band has their own sound.
I'm going to ask you just to explain a little bit about Fly My Pretties for people in North America who might not know what Fly My Pretties is. Just explain that a little bit.
Absolutely. Fly My Pretties was a concept that I came up with in 2003. In Wellington, it was basically a showcase idea to get a whole lot of different singers and songwriters and musicians together that wouldn't usually play together, and to and to showcase some new and unknown artists that were up and coming. The first show that we did was live at Betts Theatre, and so they're all live albums, that's what we do. And there's a visual artistic element to the show, so it's not just a straight up gig. It's a sit down concert in a theatre with lots of things to look at and lots of different flavours through the showcase format. So that's the basics of it, and from there it's grown quite rapidly, and we've done 3 live albums now, and I produce the albums with Lee Preble, and it changes every year. It's an organic beast. It's not a band. I can change the lineup anytime, and we don't do lots of shows. We only do very minimal amount of shows to keep it special, and quite big theatres and things like that. So it's really a showcase.
So what was it like to have your dad with you on the last one?
Well, that was a good experiment. Yeah, I mean, my father, Dick Weir, was an ex-broadcaster and storyteller. So we wrote a little story, and we used that as the foundation for the new music. And really, the story was about taking care of your environment, your local natural environment, right in your backyard. And we know that most smart people know this, but it was just putting it in a more childlike story, and animated. Hand-drawn and animated to go with the music. So that was the starting, the themes in there are, responsibility for your environment, responsibility for your children, all these kind of themes, which are important themes, nurturing and taking care of where you're from and your local environment. So that was the theme on that one. So yeah, it was good to have my old man along, and he did a great job. Right on.
So do you think that there will ever be a North American engagement of Fly My Pretties?
It's not totally impossible, but we travel usually with about 16 musicians that have different combinations, and that's just the people on stage. So it's very expensive. So it's unlikely, but it's not impossible.